Hi, today we are glad to have Ms. Megan Chen with us. She is a registered speech therapist with more than 22 years experience. Hi, Ms. Megan. Today we are talking about children who have difficulty with their schoolwork. Some parents may suspect or they may get a diagnosis that their child has dyslexia. Can you tell us a little bit more about dyslexia? What is dyslexia? Is it about reversing your B's and D's?
Right. Okay, that's actually something that's very common. A lot of parents think that, oh, dyslexia is about, reversing B's and D's, or that if their child reverses their B's and D's, the child has got dyslexia. It's actually not very much related at all. It's a little bit like saying, for example, if your child has a cold, a bad cold, and they blow their nose a lot, they're probably going to get some skin, rub off their nose. But if you see a child with skin, rub off their nose, it doesn't always mean that the child, has had a flu. Maybe the child just rubbed quite hard, or maybe, he fell and skinned his skin and so forth. So what I'm saying is that it's not really very much related, and you can't take that one symptom and say that the child has or does not have dyslexia. Okay, so first of all, dyslexia is about reading. It's about a child who has specific difficulty in reading. They may be, normal in all other respects. They may be able to, talk to you, have a conversation with you. But when it comes to reading, whereas other children might be able to read all the words, they see a printed word, something is printed on a page, a book, or a piece of paper, and they can read a sentence or they can read a story. So let's say they say, something, oh, last Saturday, John went out with his dad. And a child who is reading can read all the words. A child who is dyslexic may not be able to read the words. So if they see a word that starts with K, maybe they see a word he likes to fly a kite, and they see a word like, likes, and they may just think that, oh, that's an L word, so they may say something like, like, or they may say something that's, really like lock, anything that starts with L. Or if they see a word like kites, K-I-T-E-S, they may just read it as saying, oh, kitten. So they may not know how to turn the word that's on the page into a sound in order to say it aloud. Okay, so there are actually different types of dyslexia. Because in reading, especially in English, what you need to do is be able to take the words of the letters and convert it to a sound. That's what people talk about in phonics. In phonics class, children learn, the sound of letters. Letter S has a sound, or letter A has an at sound, and so forth. Okay, so part of reading is about being able to change the letters, convert the letter into a sound so that you can read it aloud. So you see a new word, there's like S-O-F-T, and oh, it's soft. Okay, and you're able to read it. So, but in English, a lot of words are actually what we call not regular. In other languages, like say, Italian or in Malay, if you know the sounds of the letters, you can more or less read anything. It may not mean that you understand the meaning, but if you see a printed word, or if you see in television subtitles, you can actually read it aloud. You know how to say it aloud, but it doesn't mean that you know the meaning of the words. Okay, in English, there are a lot of words that do not follow the regular spelling rules. So when it comes to words like that, usually a child will learn to remember these, what we call by reading by sight. That means they recognize the word, and they just remember, oh, this word, looks like this, and I recognize that I should say it, with this pronunciation. That's almost a little bit like how people will read, let's say, a Chinese character. So if a foreigner comes to Singapore, even an American who doesn't know Chinese, they may recognize a word, on the toilet door. They know that, oh, this particular character that looks like this means it's a, toilet for, men. This character that looks like this, means that it's a, toilet for ladies and so forth. So there are actually different types of dyslexia as well. Some children are not so good at figuring out the letters and the sounds. This is what is called phonological dyslexia. So they may be very good at memorizing, okay, this word looks like this, I've read it before, maybe the teacher read it a certain way, and they'll just memorize it, it should be said a particular way. Some other children have a different type of dyslexia. It's called visual dyslexia. So they're actually the opposite. So they may actually try to, memorize, read everything, according to the rules. But they may not be very good at recognizing, okay, certain words look different, and they should pay attention, to, the different words. So, that's why it's important when you are assessing children like that to find out where exactly the difficulties are, so that when you are doing intervention, you can actually address the difficulties. Okay, so I think that's all we'll talk about today. Maybe we'll discuss it more in detail next time.
Okay,
Right, thank you.
you.